For more on all of this is Texas Republican Congressman Pete Sessions. Congressman, good to see you. Let's go ahead and start with Iran. You know, Trump has lifted sanctions on Iran's oil sales, and, now Iran can make millions of dollars every day. What do you think Iran is going to do with those profits?
Well, Kara, it is a gold rush for them, and it is something that is why we have questions. I'm for making sure we get answers. I'm for not trying to make a decision ahead of those questions and answers. But I will tell you that you have landed on one of them. And the big question is, what will the Iranian people look like, and what will the country look like? Will they become economic juggernauts of the region, or will they go back to their old ways of spending their money on military might? Advancing opposition against their neighbors and attacking those who they disagree with. And so these are very fair questions. I was not in the meeting yesterday with the senators. We'll get these answers in the House, and we'll be able to then come away with our view of where we want to be.
So let me ask you, how do we prevent Iran from taking their oil profits and just plugging it right back into rebuilding its military?
Well, Kara, that is exactly the question. And so the question is going to be posed to the Vice President and the President. What are they going to look for a future that we would have with Iran? If it is about the Iranians being able to rebuild themselves militarily and attack other people, then we're not for this deal. These are the simple questions. But we need to be able to ask those questions. The House is behind the Senate in this. We will get this accomplished, and then we'll be able to work with the president, or at least our own body, to determine what we're going to move forward with.
All right, so there's the other body of money, Iran's frozen assets that have now been unfrozen. The president has said that these unfrozen assets will be funneled exclusively now into buying American agricultural exports. But today, the Speaker of Iran's parliament posted on X, America falsely claims our unfrozen assets will buy their agriculture, but the only crop we're harvesting is what you planted, decades of mistrust. So they're disputing this, Congressman. How can, we say that we should trust our administration when Iran is explicitly saying they won't abide by what Trump wants?
Well, you make once again a very good point, Kara, and that is, who do we trust in the matter? Even when it's on a sheet of paper, which the president does like to then bring forth and say, here's the evidence. It's all going to come down to trust. And in my opinion, right now, there is very little trust that we have in them, and they are certainly willing to disagree. So I don't know who the decision maker is. I don't know what they're going to look like. But this administration is going to have to sell this and provide us answers, and they are not going to be easily done away with. These questions are serious. Why would we necessarily be for a deal that is going to look entirely different 5, 6, 7 months from now, maybe 6 weeks from now? So, good questions.
So what do you need to hear from the president then to make you feel better about this?
Well, I need to hear from the president that the sanctions which could be employed, what would be done, how do we hold them accountable, what would the money be used for, what are their neighbors going to insist on? Because this is their neighbors freeing up money that the Iranians that they've been holding on behalf of the sanctions. So, and this just the start of it. But I think the truthfulness or the ability to trust each other is a key to the entire matter.
Well, I mean, talk about trust, mistrust. Let's talk about these inspections of Iran's nuclear facilities. Trump says IAEA is going to have full access to inspect them. Iran is insisting that that is simply not true.
You've once again landed on a key question. Who do we trust in this matter, and what would be the resulting consequences of these? If we are going to allow the Iranians to become a superpower in the region, to have a lot of gold rush of money, and have received the money ahead of time. So this is part of the question. Do they get the money up front? Is it something that could be held pending some period of time? These are all parts of the deal. All we have is an MOU right now, an understanding about working together. And I'm willing to listen. I'm willing to ask the tough questions. And we are willing to say, we'll look for the final agreement also.
Okay. All right, let's talk about housing, this housing bill. You said it's about empowering the American people and owning their own home in pursuit of the American dream. Well, this was a bipartisan effort, yet the president decides to squash the signing of the bill as leverage to pass his Save America Act. I guess, why would he do that?
Well, in my opinion, what happened is he had previously indicated that he set a red line, in essence, saying he was not going to sign any legislation until such time as the Save America Act passed. And so evidently somebody at the White House scheduled this with us. House members from Financial Services, certainly French Hill and others, were prepared to come and thank the president for working with us on a bill that will reduce, in lots of instances, middle-class Americans who struggle with housing. We've taken lots of changes in that, including reducing the cost for what might be mobile homes or housing that people need. And I think by taking rules and regulations away, it is going to help the American people. We need to get the president to sign the bill. But I think it's a matter of just a few days, and the president will recognize that he needs to get this done, certainly to comply with the law.
Well, it would definitely hurt Americans home ownership is still just a dream. I want to talk about Venezuela. The news broke of these quakes just before our interview. President Trump has said the U.S. is in charge there in Venezuela. So after these two devastating earthquakes, are we now responsible physically, financially for the recovery here?
Once again, good question. My take on that, Kira, would be that the most immediate thing that we can do is to come down with the animals that we have, search and rescue people who are able to find survivors and to know who they are and to save them and to help with medical supplies. There will obviously be issues of food and other things that they will need in Caracas and other areas. The relationship that we now share is great because of the president moving forward and Venezuela to make this friendship. We are still actively working with them on the recovery of oil for the United States consumer also. And so I think we're in a far better position than what we have been for years and years. And yes, while we're not going to pay for it, we will do, as we have done with other nations, our fair share.
Congressman Pete Sessions, good to see you today. Thank you.
You bet.
We'll be right back.